Let's talk about connection. It's something that a lot of horse trainers pontificate on, and it can come in a lot of different ways and can be displayed in lots of different ways and can be developed in lots of different ways. There's the type of connection that comes from just loving and appreciating each other. Then there's this type of connection, or the lack thereof, right? This is Vanna. She is a 13-year-old quarter horse, and she and I have been together 7 years at this point. And do I feel we have a heart connection? 100%. If I went out to just say hi to her in the field, she'd be the first one to come up and say hi. She seeks me out. She has a good look on her face there, all those things. Now, do I lose physical connection with her in the round pen? Yes, because she doesn't like to be told what to do. And everything feels like it could potentially be a trap to her. So I want her to know that my goal here is to cause her to want to be with me rather than just running her around until she's so miserable that she's got to choose the lesser of two evils, either be with me or get really winded. Now, that's not to say I won't give her space to move, right? So what I want is for her to just follow me, right? I just want her to stay with me when I walk around the round pen. And I want her to do so at a very specific distance. Like, I'd like her nose at my shoulder. So what happened there was I asked her to hurry up, right, to get her nose up to my shoulder. And she said, no, I think it's a trap. And so I just let her go. If her feet are moving, then I stand still. If her feet stop, then I start moving. So here, her feet got stopped, so I start arcing around to try to get to her tail. And each time she draws towards me, I try to fade away from her a little bit to provide what dancers call negative space. Negative space is, an energetic place, excuse me, that invites another energy to occupy it, right? So I try to fade away from her to try to invite her in. So that's the whole conversation we're having right here is if her feet stop, now I'm starting to, you can't see me because the camera stays focused on her, but I'm walking along the rail trying to get her to want to come with me via curiosity, not because I'm putting any pressure on her. So as I try to get to her tail, she tries to keep me, in front of her. And so here's another little technique I tried. It did not work. I thought maybe if I could get the front end to yield a little bit, then maybe she would stay with me. She chose to leave again. That's all right. I don't make that a big deal about it. So either her feet are moving or mine are. And since her feet are moving, I'm standing still. I'm going to let her explore a little bit. And then now you can see, because she looks at me there, I'll start moving again. So I'm going to the tail, to the tail, to the tail. And that causes her to go forward. So here, at this point, my brain is saying to her, you can go if you want to, but you can't get rid of me. So I'm following her as she goes because she's not drawing back to me. And then she had to poo, so, there's that little moment. So again, I try to go to the tail, and she decides to go forward instead of back to me, so I just follow her. And then what I'm attempting here is a passive takeover, where she's going forward and I'm following her, but then I cut across the arena at an angle that will put me in a position to be the leader. So the maneuver here is something I call a passive takeover. She's blowing out, which is good, so that indicates to me that I haven't stressed her out in the round pen, which is really easy to do. So again, I'm just attempting to do a passive takeover. She's not having it, so that's okay. I just keep trying different things. I'm happy that she's, stretching her neck and she's blowing out. So there's lots of good stuff happening. So I'm not too inclined at this point to, mix it up very much. Now you can see her starting to get more connected to me. So when she comes in, she wants a belly scratch, right? So this first time I'm going to say yes, but I don't say yes to that all the time. Otherwise, they'll end up, just sort of bashing into you to scratch their belly. So I try to spend a little time with her, let her catch her breath because she did some trotting there, in an effort to get her to associate comfort with being with me. And that when she goes away from me, the discomfort is self-inflicted, right? I don't, there she does it again. Okay. So she goes off, she's trotting. That's a choice she made. I didn't tell her to leave. She chose. So I just support her decision, right? The whole time I'm thinking, what's in it? What am I providing here that she might find valuable, right? And what I'd like to provide her with is comfort. She feels like she gets uncomfortable in the round pen, and I want her to know that if she stays with me, there's comfort in it for her. So again, I follow her in zone, or from behind. Then she offers to connect to me, but it's not very strong and it's pretty conditional. So then I just pretend we were doing circles. And so I just send her on at the trot and allow for some time here for her to just trot around and make some choices, right? She chooses to look out, but she is still stretching her neck, which I like. And so I just turn it into a circling conversation. Sorry about the camera angle. And then I do a little game over request, and she comes into me, and now I'll stay here, let her stay here with me until she thoroughly catches her breath. That's the whole point there, is that she thoroughly catches her breath. And then I'll try stay with me again. She chooses it. She chooses it. That's fine. And then, so I'm just going to pretend we were doing circles. Yeah, go ahead. It seems like you'd like to trot around. I support that. You can go ahead. And how about you canter some too? Might as well use this offering here to get something done. So in a minute here, I'm going to ask her for some changes of direction. So the responsiveness is there, right? And that's an important piece. She can give me some feedback there. That's fine too. So without the responsiveness, this wouldn't be as effective. But she chooses to leave. So then I support that decision and just turn it into a conversation about circling. I give her a chance to feel some discomfort on the rail, not because I'm chasing her around, but because I'm supporting her idea. And then I offer a game over request. And again, I'm going to stay here for quite some time. I'm speeding it up for the sake of the length of the video. And what you'll find now is she just spent the last, 8-9 minutes choosing to leave me and what that feels like. And then now she gets to feel what it feels like if she stays with me, right? I love how responsive she is to my stick. So we just do some stay with me for a while here, and you'll see that the connection has gotten super strong. Not because I forced it or because I made her miserable or I got her sweaty or anything of that nature, just because I supported her choices and let her continue to make choices based on what feels good and what doesn't feel good. I didn't make leaving me feel miserable. I just supported her idea. That was her choice to do it, and it gets her a little winded when she chooses to leave me, but not miserable, right? Not sweaty, not, anything more than just winded. And then if she stays with me, then there's peace, love, and harmony, right? I want the best place to be with me. And then when that feels like it's got real sticky and I can ask her to, stay with me pretty solid, then we're done. That's the end of the session. Everything in the round pen needs to stay short, sweet, and successful so that we can keep the round pen a place we go to play and not a place that we go to work. I hope you found that helpful.